Hello, Henning Pauli here. Today, with a bit more of a serious topic. This video is sponsored by Boutique Amps. I can't even. This is emotional. Boutique Amps Distribution, who are selling many different brands, and they asked me to talk about SLO. I don't know why. They said, "Can we pay you to make a video about SLO?" And it's something that in our family has been tough on us. It's cost us a lot of money. SLO is not cheap. If SLO befalls your family, okay. So I have to read this because I can't remember it. SLO is symmetrical lupoid onychodystrophy. What is this? Again, I'll read it. Symmetrical lupoid onychodystrophy. It is a hereditary disease. It's genetic. It befalls dogs, and it makes their claws very, very brittle, and they break easily. They fall apart. They get infected, and our dog Noodle, who's a poodle. Noodle the Poodle. Follow Noodle the Poodle 42 on Instagram if you want to see dogs running around. He's got his own Instagram. He has had his claws fall apart, break off, get infected, I think 3 times this year, minimum. Every time going to the vet several times. Every time it had to be pulled under anesthesia. Hundreds and thousands every single time. Going back, getting antibiotics. There is no treatment for it. SLO is a serious problem. For us, it costs a lot of money. I know that a lot of you have spent money on SLO over the years. You're probably having more fun with it because it might be a different kind of SLO. Our SLO sucks, okay? So what we did is we had to get plastic caps for his claws that get super glued on so that there's a little bit more stability to the claw. And just to humiliate the living fuck out of him, we have these in green. On the hind legs, they're black because, I mean, you know, you don't show your hind legs. That's not what you do at the club. But in the front legs, we try to really humiliate him. And right now, as you can clearly see, he's sporting the purple. No, pink. Why am I saying purple? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of a different SLO that comes in purple. That's my public service announcement concerning SLO. They also, I don't know how that's related, they sent a pedal and said, throw that in the video as well. I don't understand, but the important thing was talking about SLO, which is symmetrical lupoid onychodystrophy. Write me if your dog has that. I can tell you where you can get the little plastic caps. But now on to whatever that pedal is that they, there. Yeah. It's a Soldano pedal. It says Super Lead Overdrive, completely unrelated to what I just said. Before it's on the screen, it's in a box.
There's a puzzle in my mind, and I like the final piece. Lost it on the way, a price I have to pay. Gotta read between the lines, there is no rest and no release till I solve the case. Gotta save my face.
After sitting through all this, which wasn't bullshit, that's a real thing. We're really suffering from SLO. Noodle is, and then we all are, because you got to put the thing in the bandages, and it costs money. And now I just got this guitar right there, the Sully Conspiracy Series, which clocks in which is a B stock at a bit over $1,000. It's not even acclimatized to the room yet. This is what I just played with it. That's ridiculous, and it's coming out of whatever this thing's called. So, is there a point to this video? Yes and no. The Super Lead Overdrive pedal, wait, if you abbreviate that, that also means SLO. Maybe they weren't talking about symmetrical loopoid omnicordystrophy. I'm getting better at that. The SLO pedal came out 2 years ago, whatever. I made a very silly video about it that some people didn't understand. It was this much of the pedal. It was a one-channel SLO, so you either have it low gain, which sounds pretty phenomenal as you just heard, or you have it high gain, but SLO, the actual amp, has 2 channels. Mine has 3, so why not make a pedal where you can also switch around? Yeah, we got a shared EQ, just like the amp. This is a lot closer to the amp. In my original SLO pedal video, I said it doesn't have anything to do with the amp. Watch the video, it's funny as hell. I think they listened to me, they made it a lot closer to the amp. Now we got the 2 channels, we got presents because Christmas is around the corner. Presents. Double gain, double volume. Now in the back, everything's top loaded, 9 volt, in, out, that's it. And on the side, there's a deep switch for more of the low end. For more of the low end. Size-wise, it's nice. It's very tight. I mean, I can get this under my hand. These foot switches are rounded off, beautiful, and they're soft clickies. And because it's Soldano, things are illuminated in purple. So you got on and off and channel. I mean, it's a very simple pedal. I don't know what I'm talking about this much. I am going to take this Conspiracy Series Sully, which clocks in at around $1,000 because it's a B stock, usually 1,500. Get them while they're hot. He has a couple with blemishes that he's selling in December. I'm going to show you where the blemish is. It's on the front. Can you tell? No, because I can't. It's right here, and I just know that because he showed me. Can you see the blemish? Nope. See, not even in the reflection. This is why this guitar is off like 30%. That's ridiculous. Hip shot locking tuners. It's a masterpiece of a guitar. I mean, this one is at 5,500. This at 1,000, it's just ridiculous. That's what we're using. Quick tune ski. Let's go no effects for now. So I'm going right now, we're going to go into tons of amps as always, some from Boutique Amps Distribution, but we're going to start with the Amplified Nation Bombshell Overdrive, which is a very high-end double clone. It's literally a one-to-one representation of what the something overdrive dumble thing was. I can't remember. I'm actually going to start with single coil sounds. Because you think of high gain when you think Soldano, but that's wrong. Let's check that shit out. There's a very, very unique attack, which is spanky. It's very unique. Hamburger. Let's experiment with the EQ on the normal channel. I have a feeling I want more low end. It's a bit thinned out for a mixed grade, but by myself, no. But there's a deep switch, which we're gonna get to. Let's kick in that deep switch on the side. Yeah, it brings in some of that heft as much as the actual amp. Not quite. I mean, it really depends on what you're pumping this into. And if any of you actually expect an overdrive pedal to sound like an amp for over $4,000, what's wrong with you people? It can get you the flavor. It can't get you the real thing. Because then they wouldn't sell this. They'd be stupid to sell this if it was actually a true replacement for the real thing, okay? But does it do the flavor? Heck yeah. We're gonna check out the flavor of channel 2. I'm present. It's got a very unique overdrive flavor. I really like it. And even the subtle settings are just great. turn it back on. Gonna go to overdrive. Deep in bass in. By the way, you're hearing, of course, that amp with that thing in front of it through the aux with the 412 cream back-loaded cab. Okay, and now we're going to take that thing out. I'm going to switch to the SLO, the actual Super Lead Overdrive 100-watt amp, which is sitting all the way to the right in the rack there. Yep. Okay, at the current setting, the pedal has quite a bit more mids, but it's different, but the flavor is there. Frequency response is a bit different, but that's not all. Of course, the frequency response is determined by the amp, which means we're now going to the Royalist from Tone King. I'm going to try to match that. That's the SLO, the actual SLO. It's got these ploppy mids, which I love, and when I was soloing with it, were to die for. It's not as hefty as the SLO, the actual amp, but that's not the idea. It just isn't. It gets you the SLO density and saturation on your amp to create your sound, which I think is a good idea. We're gonna go into another amp. The Tube Workshop 2864. Very high-end boutique, hand-wired German thing. Very expensive, 14 watt. Massively super gain, super saturated, the kind of thing that would have made Eddie super happy if I could only play some of those riffs, which I can't. Nice! Into the Blackstar, interesting, the Blackstar St. James EL34, which has a switching power supply, is very light, different kind of amp. Okay, that's the actual Soldano now, the SLO. Closer than these vintagey kind of amps. So obviously highly dependent on what amp you're going into. Realistically, you will never be in the position where you can take this pedal into your amp, then have an actual SLO next to it, have an A/B switch, and really know how close you are. That's not the point. The point is put this in front of your amp, create music, have fun. It is a great pedal no matter what. Whether or not it sometimes gets closer or not to the SLO is it's not the point. It really isn't. If that's what you wanted, you would play some kind of digital thing with some kind of profile. This is going to get you inspired. The leads were fantastic, and I love the ploppy attack of it. Again, sometimes it gets closer or not so close. We're going to go into the last one, which is the Frayette Deliverance. I've got the 60 version. What an amp it is. Stephen Frayette absolutely nailed the living crap out of it. Really big behemoth. If you set it up right, you can get cleans that no other amp can get. It's phenomenal. Amazing sound, probably not SLO. Let's see. a good sound, very close, okay? As far as a great sounding pedal, that's what it is. As far as the flavor of the Soldano, that's what it is. How close you can get to mimicking a Soldano with this in front of it, with your amp, depends on your amp. But again, that's not the point. It just has a very unique plopping, and I love that. I love to play leads with it. Turning on some effects. Instant lead heaven. And getting a killer lead sound is not easy. For me, especially with pedals, I always fight a bit, and I have an amp that I'm pushing a bit. I'm not pushing anything. These amps are clean. This is all this. We're done. Big. Thank you. You know you want it. SLO is what you want unless you have a dog. Then trust me, you don't want symmetrical loop point on your... You don't want that. You want that. You made it this far for some reason. Thank you so much. I put links to all the shops I work with below. If you shop at any of them, please use the links. That absolutely supports the channel and really, really, really helps me. Thank you so much. I got nothing more to say. This is fun. The low gain sounds. The low gain sounds. That's what it's also, you know, and animals at the end.